Welcome to Beyond the Pink Ribbon podcast. My name is Nadia Miller and I am your host. And I am excited. We have moved from radio to now we are in your living rooms. You can catch us on your iPads, you can find us on your iPhones, and you can find us on your computer. I am excited today because our first guest is Lisa R. Hayes, none other than the executive director of Pink Forever Ending Disparities. Welcome to Beyond the Pink Ribbon podcast.
We're back.
We are back.
In person.
And we can see.
People can see us too, so don't act up
us.
with me.
I know, I will be patient. Thank you for just spending some time with me today. I wanted to have my first conversation as bringing Beyond the Pink Ribbon back with you, particularly to talk about all of the things about Pink Forever Ending Disparity, and then to let the people know and the community know about you as a leader in this community and a force to be reckoned with. So before we dive in,
all right.
What does going beyond the pink ribbon mean to you?
I really love the name that you've given the podcast because for me, I think about showing your audience some of the behind the scenes things that happen when someone is diagnosed with breast cancer, is going through that experience with their family. Some of the things that go unseen and unheard to the general public, but that women, in particular Black women, are really experiencing, and then how we can help with that.
Because what our community may not know is Black breast cancer is different. It's different and it's talked about different, and we have to manage it differently. And so not only within your position, but you also are coming up on your
19th year of survivorship.
19 years. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I say it's amazing because, as you know, Black women die from breast cancer way more often than white women. So for us who sit here as survivors, both 19 years now, that's a little bit of an anomaly. Mm-hmm. But the unfortunate part of that means a lot of women that look like us have died from breast cancer. And so for me, I count it a blessing that I'm still here, but it also means I have work to do because I want to see so many other Black women be able to say, I'm a 19-year survivor, I'm a 20, I'm a 25-year survivor. And unfortunately, in our community, that just does not happen enough.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking about what you are doing and what we are doing as an organization, I think it's important that we talk to the community about what is it that Pink Forever does? How do we live out our mission and vision here?
Yeah. Well, so our mission and vision is to eliminate all those breast cancer disparities that impact Black women. And we see it every day. So, and there's many factors involved there, whether it's lack of real access to treatment, whether it's being mistreated in those clinical spaces, whether it's something more internal, where it's things like fear of the unknown that's holding us back from getting the kind of treatment that we need. It's lack of involvement in research and research on Black bodies so that treatments can be developed that really address our internal bodies and what's going to be most effective for us with our genetic makeup. So it's all those things that are important. That's why we exist. Pink Forever exists to really hone in on where are the barriers, where are the gaps, and let's put some programming in there to fill those gaps.
So, family, the community may wonder, how does Pink Forever, how do we get this done? How have we been able to impact individuals not only in Indianapolis, but beyond? Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Right. So Pink Forever has 4 pillars: advocacy, education, research, and empowerment. So every program that we have falls under one of those pillars, and it's very intentional. Kind of going backwards, when you look at the research, which we really look at, not only do we look at, but we're involved in, and so the research tells us where the problems are. Where does the data look bad for Black women? So we look at that, then we say, okay, how do you fix it? And so we really look at that, collaborate with other organizations, saying, we believe this program will help address this problem that's been identified, not only through research, but through our lived experience. We're entrenched in the community, so we work with women and families, and so we hear from them. And so when we're developing programs, we're doing it with that in mind, that, okay, we've heard what the community says is lacking. We've heard what the research says is lacking. Let's develop a program around that to address that particular need. So that's the way we operate here at Pink Forever. And so we literally have a program that will address anything about breast health, starting from I don't understand what breast health is. I don't understand what breast cancer is, all the way through I need screenings. I've been diagnosed. I need help with treatment. How do I survive this? Particularly when we know that Black women are dying too often from breast cancer.
That great segue to where I'm going.
Okay.
One of the things that I think the community at large may miss sometimes is how important advocacy is in order to get those things done. Well, you're explaining the continuum of care, the need that is out there for folks to be able to walk alongside someone else. And one of the programs here that is most instrumental in the growth of Pink Forever is our advocate program,
That,
our certified advocate program. Can you talk
absolutely.
about that?
Yes. So, and actually, the advocacy program was one of the first ones that we implemented based upon, again, research that showed us that Black women, once they were diagnosed, were feeling kind of alone. Were feeling like there were not people that looked like them that were helping them through that process, or uh, people, their family members were helping, their friends were helping, but they didn't really know kind of from the inside what is this person really experiencing, and how can I help. So we developed our advocacy program. Many of our trained certified advocates are survivors themselves or have served as caregivers, which gives them some insight into how can I best help some woman going through what I've been through or who I've watched go through. And so our advocates are there, as you said, to walk alongside, but also to make sure that uh, the patient is seen and heard and connected with resources, whether they're from Pink Forever or from other community resources that's going to help them through their treatment experience. The reason why that is important is that you need all those things to happen in order to preserve that mortality. That's what we're really trying to get to. Keep women alive, keep Black women alive, and you have to come along with some support services to make sure they can get there the same way that some other ethnicities do.
You know, one of the things I love about Pink Forever, and I'm a little biased, but one of the things I love about Pink Forever is the ability to be able to provide cultural, competent, relevant information for our community. And then train and teach others to go out and do it. One of the things that folks may not know is I'm also an advocate. So I am trained, and I also have the privilege of sitting in the clinical setting. I have the privilege of working alongside Lisa and many others. But what I have learned in this work is it takes so many different people and so many different partners. Let's talk about our
It
partners.
does. Yeah, that's great. As I was saying before, when we look at what's really going to address the problem we're trying to solve, it's we're very collaborative in that. We know that this organization alone can't do anything, but we have some great partners that come alongside us that, and I'll give you an example. And they're not all non, some of them are nonprofits,
Mm-hmm.
some of them are small businesses. So for example, our partner, Char's Medical Supply, if we know we're working with a woman that needs a wig or needs a prosthesis or needs any other things that might help them manage side effects during their treatment, we have a partner standing ready. We can call Char's Medical Supply in a moment and say, I'm sitting here with someone who needs this. Can you see her? And because we form that relationship, Char usually says, yes, I can see her. Send her on over, or make some kind of accommodation. And that's really the beauty of all this, because if we didn't have those kind of partnerships in place, where that leaves that woman is waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the waiting, it can be a death sentence, whether you're waiting because you can't get your mammogram, or you're waiting because you're fearful and you don't know how you're going to pay for diagnostic tests, or you're waiting because you're afraid of what the treatment is going to look like. But if you have an advocate that knows and is out in there and encounters you and can share, yes, this is scary, but let me tell you what I'm going to do to help you along this, and all the other resources that we have available for you to help you through this. That's the key.
That is the key. What do you say when we've all received phone calls over probably over well over a decade or so since we've been working together that Pink Forever must only service women of color. What do you say to that, and provide the community why our organization has literally the face it does, why it looks the way it does, but then also the inclusivity that is represented within the organization?
Right. And that our faces and the way we're portrayed publicly, yes, it does look like we're serving black women. That's intentional because there is a specific need because of the disparities that black women face. But all of our programming is open to everyone, and we invite everyone because we know that if we can improve breast cancer outcomes for black women, that's improving outcomes for everybody.
Absolutely.
You know the old adage, how's it go when America has a cold, black America has the
The flu.
flu. I think it goes something like that. But it's the same kind of concept where if we're helping improve outcomes for black women, all the things that we're doing is also helping all women in the community. And we invite anyone. We don't care about your ethnicity, where you live. If there's a program that can help you, we are here to serve. And that means whether you're in Indiana or whether you're in Atlanta, where we have an advocate, whether you're in LA, where we have an advocate, and soon to come, where we have some women trained in Chicago. So we are here. And the world is virtual now. So some of our programming can be accessed through virtual means, but we can go old school too. If you've been recently diagnosed and we want to get you a care package, wherever you live in the United States, the U.S. postal mail still works, so we can send that out. So yes, we're very inclusive, but intentionally. Put our focus on black women because that's where the disparity lies.
Yeah, I love that. We are very intentional and inclusive. And I believe that that is something that the broader community at large has to understand and then begin to utilize those free resources. One of the things that we're going to talk about is Pink Forever is not only about survivorship, it includes it. But talk about one of the things that we do that are, well, many things that we do for individuals to become proactive in their health care, whether it be by education, and then a wonderful program that was started, I believe, was it 2, 3 years ago
2 years
now?
ago, the fall of 2023, we launched Survivorship as a Lifestyle, again with very precise intention. What we had learned is that once a woman, finishes treatment and is ready to kind of move back into a new normal,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times what happens is they're still feeling like isolated, feeling that loss of independence. Um, Many family members might not understand that, oh, you're done with treatment, all good, let's go, and they're off. But no, there are a lot of things that still linger. So one of the things that we wanted to do with survivorship as a lifestyle is to give survivors a community where they can continue to grow, where they can access for free healthy lifestyle habits that will help them survive, but also to bring along their kind of circle of influence, whether that be family members, church members, friends. Because the thing about exercising or eating right, if you're doing it by yourself, it's hard.
Very
If you're
hard.
the only person in your household that's trying to, eat healthy, you don't want to cook one thing for you and everybody else is over there eating stuff that
Eating the
looking
fun stuff.
real good. Right. Yeah. So the idea behind it is to invite everyone who wants to learn some healthy habitudes. That's what we call them, habitudes. And to maintain them, let's do it together. Let's build a community. So we offer all kinds of movement and fitness classes. We offer some self care activities. We offer activities where we're just socially connecting. That's part of getting back into that whole survivorship is being surrounded by other community, people that you can have fun with and laugh with. That's living, that's thriving. And so all these things we offer through survivorship as a lifestyle. And I'm a frequent participant in those things just because I love the program.
How can folks register for the program, or what do they need to do to become a part of survivorship as a lifestyle?
Very easy. You go to our website, which is pinkforever.org, and that's PINK, a hyphen, the number four, then EVER.org. If you click on the tab that says empowerment, that's where you'll find not only about survivorship as a lifestyle, but some of our other programming. Very simple. Just submit your form there. It's online. As soon as we get it, kind of behind the scenes, we acknowledge, yes, you are now a member. We have enrolled you in survivorship as a lifestyle. And after that, you get your swag bag. And again, it's just more of a welcoming tool and incentive. So you get little knapsack that you could take along with you when you go to classes. It has a water bottle. It has some exercise bands, a little sweat towel. So again, it's just a way for us to say, welcome into our community and our space, and come with us as we're surviving and thriving.
And the things that Lisa has mentioned are available to anybody in the community. So one of the things that we have been working tirelessly to do is to get individuals involved. And so, speaking of involvement, which is really important no matter what age you are, specifically about breast health or breast cancer, is Hey Girlies is a program that we launched to specifically address women from the ages of 18 to 35.
Right.
And I really want you to talk to the community, our new family, about the why we created it and what is happening because we've created a new program that specifically targets that demographic.
Right. So again, going back to what the research was showing and what we were seeing in our lived experience is that too many young women now, we're talking about women that are under the age of 35, and for black women, even women under the age of 30, who are being diagnosed with breast cancer. And and dying at higher rates, just like the rest of black women. And so, not only that, what we were seeing when we would go into the clinic space advocating and supporting women, we were just seeing too many women coming in there who were being diagnosed in their 20s. And the stories we kept hearing was, I had a breast problem. I went to the doctor, but it was ignored because they thought I was too young. Or even people themselves who, I know something's going on, but I'm too young to have breast cancer, so I'm not going to do anything about it. So those two things together, as we heard about that and saw the research that backed that up, here's another opening for us. We need to have a program that's going to reach young women. So, hey, girlies. But what I love about it is that it wasn't me, it wasn't you, it wasn't our board of directors that were sitting in a room saying, yeah, this is what this program is going to look like. We invited young women, ages 18 to 35, to come in and tell us if we were to create a program that would address the healthcare needs of your age group, what should that look like? That when we held those focus groups, that was so powerful and informative. And so, some of the things that, look, admittedly, I'm old, so what I think might work is like, no, we want it to look like this. And so we have a core group of young women that have designed this program and are now ready to go out and do some events and activities, bringing in more young women their ages so they can share together and learn together and talk about, at your age, what are the challenges you're facing when you go to the doctor? Are you able to navigate the healthcare system? What was it like moving off of your parents' insurance to having to get this on your own? What did you encounter? Well, this group of women, not only are they, dedicated to doing that, but they're dedicated to learning how to best serve other young women. So we had a core group of them that recently participated in our breast health advocate training. And so we have some young ladies now who are certified advocates, and they are ready to go out there and serve in the community, especially with their peers.
Yes, and so our messaging around young advocates, it doesn't matter how old you are. Advocacy is super important at all ages and stages. Lisa says she's old, she's not. She's getting better and better. She's running circles around us around here. But what I will say, something that you said that really spoke to me is aged out. I was diagnosed as a young breast cancer survivor, as you know. And what would work in 2007 when I was diagnosed versus what works in 2026, that's why we need you all. And it's not a fluke. And what we're seeing more now with younger women is because they're not going to the doctor, some. We're trying to remove those barriers because they're not being proactive about their health because of the invisible age of life when you're just going through and you're either in college or you're working or you have a young family. That's actually the time to start. Talk about like starting now, starting today. You don't wait until you're, look, 45, 50 to start going to see you shouldn't.
Right.
You shouldn't wait till then, but that's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing about what's happening is the wait, right?
Yeah, a lot of that waiting for all the wrong reasons. And so, our messaging is that don't wait. Particularly, I mean, when you're talking about your health and your body, if you feel or see something that's kind of off or just not right, Don't ignore that. That's what we tell our advocates to share with the community. Listen to your body and then take action. Do something about it. Again, it doesn't matter whether you're, 15 or 55. If it's, changing in your body, you need to look at that. But in terms of our, young people being attuned to that, we got to get them early.
Absolutely.
I talked about habitudes, develop them early, and they're much easier to maintain as you grow older. And so I just love the fact that we have not only Hey Girlies, but our junior ambassadors as well, who are high school and college students who, again, we're teaching them uh, to be self advocates for their own health, to not ignore things that are going on in their bodies, or if they hear about a parent or a grandparent or they observe
They're doing
one
something
of them,
about that.
they're talking to them as well and say, you know what I heard at my advocacy training?
Yeah.
You need to do this. And so they could be a strong voice for all their family members.
Well, I really just appreciate the depth, and I cannot let you get out of here without you telling the community, our new family, about what do we have that is going on next. Not only this month, because just they can check out the website. You've given that, but what is the largest initiative that we have coming up in May, and also I want you to talk about the Breast Health Summit as we wind our way out of here.
Yeah, so family, what we have coming up is our annual Mother's Day brunch. It is May the 2nd. The registration and tickets for that will be available starting at the end of the month. That's a day that we just celebrate mothers and survivors, but the other part about it, it is a fundraiser for our junior ambassador program that I just mentioned, mentoring these young people to serve in their communities. And then just a couple of months later, we have our annual Stay Alert, Stay Alive Breast Health Summit. It is August the 27th through the 28th this year. We're going back to the Renaissance Indianapolis North Hotel. It's bigger and better. We went from one day, 8 years ago, then built up to 2 days. This year, it is 3 days. We're adding in a day, especially for survivors and caregivers. So on Thursday night, we're going to have that survivors and caregivers power party. We're going to have some very special things for survivors and caregivers. And then on Friday morning, the focus is again going to be on education from the survivor and caregiver perspective. And you might get a little big taste of Beyond the Pink Ribbon there. And then, of course, what has become our signature Pink and Black Ball on Friday evening of the 28th. And get your gowns ready, get your high heels ready. This is not a sneaker ball. And then on Saturday is our big day of education and empowerment sessions, which are totally free to the public. So no excuse for not coming out and just enjoying all the festivities, learning and engaging with people from throughout the community and beyond Indianapolis.
Well, thank you. Listen, we have absolutely enjoyed having you on and talking. I want you all to know, family, that Pink Forever is in your neighborhood. You can contact us on our website. You can take a look at our social media handles, Pink Forever Inc. But just be sure to get involved, to get engaged. Be sure to check us out on Beyond the Pink Ribbon. My name is Nadia Miller. I want to extend a great big thank you to Lisa Hayes, our executive director, and we look forward to seeing you again, family. Look, it's Pink Ribbon. It's pink. It's Beyond the Pink Ribbon.
We're
Thank
back.
you. We're back.